Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Thursday morning edition of The Mop. Yes, it's a beautiful sunshiny morning with snow on their way. It's 3 to 6 inches tonight, they're saying. I'm hoping they're wrong. I don't like the idea of that at all. Big tournament on Saturday coming up. Can't wait for that. But 3 to 6, we got to get through this snow first, and then cooler weather is back, and we'll go from there. Typical weather in Wisconsin. Typical weather after having a few beautiful couple days. Yesterday, the warm weather was here. However, we basically lived through the windstorm from hell. It was 40-mile-an-hour winds. Pulling an enclosed trailer was not a lot of fun. But welcome to the Mop, titled The Gimmick is real. Yes, the gimmick. Let me ask you a question. If you shopped businesses that promised you rebates, promised you a cap on your credit cards, promised you that things were going to... If you shopped businesses where bosses were telling you this, how long would it take you to not shop there anymore if it never came to fruition? How long, or do you just keep saying, oh, I can't wait for the next one? So the next one will be, all the roads are going to be paved in silver or gold or whatever it may be. See, there is a time that I will see all the roads that are paved in gold. There will be that time that, we won't have to worry about that because the good Lord will come back. And we will be in, I would like to say, tall cotton. But what amazes me is I saw a statistic yesterday that there are people betting on when the good Lord comes back, whether or not he'll be speaking English. It was wild. It's like $4.8 million, I think is what the number was. I don't know who plans on collecting on that. And B, I would think there was a whole lot better investment on your money. But that's just me. What do I know? But the gimmick is real. The gimmick is to divert you away from what's going on. See, I see people posting about the Gulf of America and the defense of war. And, I thought we were going to be a country to not do war. But yet, we're not the Secretary of Defense. We are now have a Secretary of War, which means that you want to go to war. If you don't want war, you wouldn't mention that. But now we are getting promised, oh, yes, you're going to get your 2,000. I'm still waiting on my Doge checks from the last time. And then I'm going to wait on my credit card companies to cap me at 10%. And then I'm going to wait for my huge refunds for my prescriptions that he says are going to be 500% up to 1,500% off, which I don't know how you can do that. I've done math, and I've been part of business a long time. I mean, if Jacob decided to do 200% off turn signal kits, we would be sending turn signal kits out plus money. You can't just, it baffles me that people are still on. You can be a Republican. I'm fine with that. But start holding some standards. Kind of like being a Democrat. Hold standards. Enough of the BS already. Now it's sounding like the FBI withheld photos of young children and thing from the Epstein files. Let's get down and dirty. I really think England did the right thing. The UK did the right thing. the UK is hardcore about holding people accountable. And it's pretty impressive. Our country's not about that. Our country's about that if you do it to illegal immigrants. Hold them seriously accountable. But don't hold those people that have influence on this generation of making sure we're doing the right thing. Let's just ignore it. Come up with more excuses, such as, why didn't the Democrats handle it 4 years ago? Why didn't Pam Bondi handle it when she was headed in Florida where those accusations started? If you're starting to see the Republican side with the wheels fall off the wagon, it's because they know they have a few years yet, and this lie is all going to come out. And you can tell me, oh, Chris Jeepers Crepes, you have been held underwater far too long. Take a look around. Lindsey Graham went off his rocker overseas. Kash Patel, Bondi, they're all... Why do you think Bondi sat in front of the hearing and called people losers and name called them? Because that's all they're known to do. What amazes me is that I see more and more when I know you are MAGA. See, and this is where I'm going to draw the line. You can still be a Republican and a conservative. I have no problem with that. Some people but right now the MAGA is controlling your destiny. And that is going to be a problem for you because of how extreme they are. Because we are being promised just because then if he promises you something. How many times as a kid were you told, if you behave, you'll get this, or you'll behave or you'll get this? If you didn't in turn get that, the next time your parent would have said, hey, if you behave, you'll get this. BS, I didn't get it last time, so why would I behave now? That's what's going to happen. You are being trained to live for that little thing they're dangling. Have you ever watched a cat with catnip with a little thing on a string? That's how you all look. You look like you're following that little string. They're dancing it in front of you. Oh, God, yes, we're going to get 10% capped on our credit cards. Oh, we're going to have prescription costs way down. We're going to have grocery prices way down. Have you looked at a candy bar, for example, recently? Have you looked at cough syrups, cold medicines? Have you actually shopped for groceries? Do you actually grocery shop? See, that's the problem. Is unless you're the one doing the grocery shopping, you go, everything seems to be fine. As you're paying $15, $16 through a drive-through for a meal now. But everything's good. And yes, people can't afford to go $15 through a drive-through. And did you now see what they're going to do to veterans if this all happens? Or do you guys just sit in your bubble and wait for Fox News or wait for the president or the press secretary to tell you what to believe? Or when somebody posts something about what's going to happen. You know, Sarah Kieski posted on her Facebook page about how many hours they're going to be scheduled to work. And right now the Republicans are in charge of how many hours they are going to work at the Capitol here in Wisconsin. Take a look at her Facebook page. Watch her video. And you can say, well, that's just BS, Chris. That's just baloney. The Republicans are in charge of it here in Wisconsin. The amount of hours they're going to work is so frickin' asinine. It's so minimal. It's crazy. And we pay for that. And yet you're sitting here having a bitch crisis about Governor, Evers and what he's doing and everything else. How about you hold your Republican people that are there responsible? If you want shit done, start making some calls and saying this is BS, that you guys are in session only this amount of time, but you're off this amount of time. Work needs to get done. There's a lot of shit that needs to get done. And yet, they're in charge of it. So hold your Republican. No, Chris, you're living up to hype. I'm a Republican. I know that ain't true. I think that's fake news. That's AI. Take a look at it. Take a look at the video from Sarah Kieski. It's well worth a watch. I'll share it on my Facebook page here, and you can watch it. It's absolutely disgraceful, the amount of time that they are going to spend in session. And yet, you guys all have another way to find a different avenue than to blame who is in charge. Well, what about Sleepy Joe? What about that? What about that? No, Chris, you got to look at this. Because my president wouldn't be that way. He's the greatest ever. Take a look at the polls. Polls are full of baloney, Chris. You know that. People are just bad. They're jealous. Can we handle one thing at a time before another thing's pressed? How about let's get this Epstein files cleared out. Let's figure it out. Release it all. Let go the hounds. I think if it was one of your daughters that were groomed or that you lost because they killed themselves, I think you'd want justice too. And then for them to all show up at the hearing and be totally disrespected by our government is an absolute shame. Well, Chris, if you were on the left, you had plenty of time. No, they were actually locked at the time. We had to pass that to unlock them, remember? It's a sad position to be in when people are where they are. And again, I'm not here to worry about if I see up there that there's 13 people, 14 people, 27,000. I don't care. If I help one person, that's all I am. One person. If I help one, my mission has been accomplished. But I'll tell you what, the more that you are celebrating all of the evils and things like that, it is a sad state. And I've said it before, you can be a Republican. You can be conservative. But at some point, you have to stop this circus freight train. At some point, you have to stand up to your party and say enough is enough. And see, Mr. Massey, I think, is doing that partially, and look at what they're already accusing him of. Being crazy, being a dipshit, being a loser. Because that's all they know how to do is call names and try to intimidate. See, I know a few people around in town here that are MAGAs, and they are all about intimidation. They want to be face-to-face, nose-to-nose, threaten to fight, call you names. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to push their agenda. Is nose-to-nose, fight, scrap, whatever. If you don't like it, come on. It's ridiculous. You look dumb. Nobody wants to listen to you. Sit down to a table and have a conversation. But again, I'll share, and it's because it's a Democrat sharing a video, everybody's going to say, well, yeah, that's just the Democrat side. And what about the Republicans? Well, the Republicans don't want to tell you that they're only working X amount of hours this next year. For you. And then I hear, well, when's this road going to be fixed out here on 14? 14's a mess. Yeah, but they're blaming Governor. That's not all. Who's in power? Who has the power? Oh, the Republican side does. In road projects now, I think 14, I thought I heard, was now pushed out to 2027, but I heard it may start in May. So I hope that's the case, because my truck, I mean, unless you do front end alignments in town, you probably don't want it fixed. But if you're a front end alignment specialist, you're probably hoping they don't fix it, because it doesn't take many times up and down 14 before your truck or your car gets lost in a sinkhole. But there again, big money controlled that. Rockwell controlled that to begin with, or it had been fixed a while ago. I've learned one thing, that I'll never have enough money to sway anybody's decision one way or another. But I do have a brain, and I do have a heart, and I have a conscience and some morals, and that will hopefully sway some to actually be kind to others. So I'm going to end it that way. Take time today to bless somebody. There's a piss load of people going through some really bad times, and quite honestly, it's an up and down day for me, everyday battle, because of my brain injury. Oh, Chris, that was 9 years ago. It's still there. But to listen to people become absolutely stupid over this is crazy. And again, I'll reiterate, you can be a Republican. That's fine. But stand up for what's right and what needs to be handled. Quit blaming the other side, and the same for the Democrats. Quit blaming that side. Work together for something that is so morally wrong. And let's handle this issue. Let's just get one issue off the books and handle it correctly. And I don't care if it burns the whole damn city down, let it burn. It'll be okay. We've been through worse, but I tell you what, if we don't start handling it now, we're going to be through a hell of a lot worse. So, have a great day. Take time to bless somebody today, and thank you for tuning into The Mop.